Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature that's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, good evening to you, beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight for our After Dark edition of New Black Wall Street Book Club. We are going to be continuing our journey into the University of Success by Mandino. And tonight we are in lesson number 22, which we will be discussing how to cherish and use the magic of time. How to cherish and use the magic of time. Now, this is a lesson that's going to be brought to us by Arnold Bennett and Arthur Brisbane. This is a book, a compilation book of different, minds that bring some value to our marketplace. And so we'll hear from Arnold Bennett and Arthur Brisbane here tonight, how to cherish and use the magic of time. While you guys are connected, man, let us know that you are here. Go ahead and say hello. You can hit the like button, subscribe button, follow button, all that good stuff. We got Black folk reading in the evening to be able to capture some of this good stuff, to meditate on it throughout the night and to wake up a much better person because we've decided to feed ourselves with good quality stuff. And we eat good, and we become good. That's kind of how it is. So anyway, thanks so much for joining those that are here. Miss Sincere is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us out of Mableton, Georgia. Anybody else that's here as well. So we'll begin. Tonight's going to be a little short. It looks like this chapter is actually shorter than yesterday, so that's pretty cool. So we get through this thing pretty fast. We start with our lesson here. It starts with I guess it's not a quote, but it's something to give us some point of reference here. And it says this: you possess as much of this precious commodity as the richest person in the world, and yet you may not realize how wealthy you are. It's talking about time. Everybody putting the comments on time. You possess as much of this precious commodity as the richest person in the world, and yet you may not realize how wealthy you are. We're talking about this thing, this commodity, this precious asset called time, this precious asset called time. And so we'll hear from Arnold Bennett and Arthur Brisbane tonight here on lesson 22, how to cherish and use the magic of time. New Black Wall Street Book Club After Dark edition. Let's read. What's going on? Glenda Tate Williams in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. If you kept a careful diary of all your activities for any 7-day period, you will probably be shocked at the shame face at the number of hours you fritter away each week doing little or nothing. If you kept a careful diary of all your activities for any 7-day period, you will probably be shocked and shame-faced at the number of hours you fritter away each week doing little or nothing. This is an unusual lesson since not one, but two distinguished individuals will make brief appearances before you with but one purpose: to help you appreciate that mysterious gift we all receive called time. Arnold Bennett was a prolific English novelist, best known for his masterful work, The Old Wives' Tale. Since he wrote nearly 500,000 words a year during the height of his career, his friends were always inquiring as to the secret of his incredible production. In response, he finally wrote a small book, How to Live on 24 Hours a Day, which has been treasured by millions for more than 70 years and is still in print. His portion of this lesson is from that book. Following Mr. Bennett is another man of letters, Arthur Brisbane, with a powerful suggestion that could be worth a fortune to you. Mr. Brisbane, an American editor and a columnist, managed to earn an incredible income from his enterprises, exceeding more than $1 million a year, even during the depths of the Great Depression, primarily because he knew how to make the greatest possible use of what he called his odd moments. First, read Mr. Bennett, followed by Mr. Brisbane's lesson from the book Elbert Herbert's Scrapbook. But proceed with this warning: do not let the brevity of either lecture lull you into taking its words lightly. Chances are you may find yourself recalling their wisdom often in the years to come. How to make use of the magic, how to cherish and make use of the magic, use the magic of time. Yes, he's one of those men who don't know how to manage good situation, regular income, quiet enough for luxuries as well as his needs, not really extravagant. And yet the fellow's always in difficulties. Somehow he gets nothing out of his money. Excellent flat, half empty. Always looks as if he'd had the pawnbrokers in. New suit, old hat, magnificent necktie, baggy trousers. Ask you to dinner, cut glass, bad mutton, or Turkish coffee, cracked cup. He can't understand it. Explain simply is that he fritters his income away. Wish I had half of it. I'd show him. So we have most of us criticized at one time or another in our superior way. We're nearly all chancellors of the exchequer. It is the pride of the moment. Newspapers are full of articles explaining how to live on such and such a sum, and how these articles provoke a correspondence whose violence proves the interest they excite. Recently, in a Daily Organ, a battle raged round the question whether a woman can exist nicely in the country on 85 pounds, I guess, or shekels a year. I've seen an essay, How to Live on 8 shillings a week, but I've never seen an essay, How to Live on 24 hours a day. Yet it has been said that time is money. That proverb understands the case. That time is a great deal more than money, usually. But though you have the wealth of a cloakroom attendant at the Carlton Hotel, you cannot buy yourself a minute more time than I have, or the cat by the fire has. Philosophers have explained space. They have not explained time. It is inexplicable raw material of everything. With it, all is possible. Without it, nothing. The supply of time is truly a daily miracle, an affair genuinely astonishing when one examines it. You wake up in the morning and lo, your purse is magically filled with 24 hours of the unmanufactured tissue of the universe of your life. It is yours. It is the most precious of possessions, a highly singular commodity showered upon you in a manner as singular as a commodity itself. For remark, no one can take it from you. It is unstealable, and no one receives it either more or less than you receive. Talk about an ideal democracy. In the realm of time, there is no aristocracy of wealth and no aristocracy of intellect. Genius is never rewarded by even an extra hour a day, and there is no punishment. Waste your infinitely precious commodity as much as you will, and the supply will never be withheld from you. No mysterious power will say, this man is a fool, if not a knave, he does not deserve time, he shall be cut off at the meter. It is more certain than bonds, and payment of income is not affected by Sundays. Moreover, you cannot draw on the future. Impossible to get into debt. You can only waste the passing moment. You cannot waste tomorrow. It is kept for you. You cannot waste the next hour. It is kept for you. I said the affair was a miracle, is it not? You have to live on this 24 hours of daily time. Out of it, you have to spend health, pleasure, money, content, respect, and the evolution of your immortal soul. Its right use, its most effective use, is a matter of the highest urgency and of the most thrilling actuality. All depends on that. Your happiness, the elusive prize that you are all clutching for, my friends, depends on that. Strange that the newspapers, so enterprising and up to date as they are not full of how to live on a given income of time instead of how to live on a given income of money. Money is far more commoner than time. When one reflects, one perceives that money is just about the commonest thing there is. It encumbers the earth in gross heaps. If one can't contrive to live on a certain income of money, one earns a little more or steals it or advertises for it. One doesn't necessarily muddle one's life because one can't manage 1,000 pounds a year. One braces the muscles and makes it guineas and balances the budget. But if one cannot arrange that an income of 24 hours a day shall exactly cover all proper items of expenditure, one does muddle one's life definitely. The supply of time, though gloriously regular, is cruelly restricted. Which one of us on 24 hours, which of us lives on 24 hours a day? And when I say lives, it does not mean exists nor muddles through. Which of us is free from the uneasy feeling that the greatest spending departments of his daily life are not managed as they ought to be? Which of us is quite sure that his fine suit is not surmounted by a shameful hat, or that in attending to the crockery, he has forgotten the quality of the food? Which of us is not saying to himself, which of us has not been saying to himself all his life, I shall alter that when I have a little more time? We shall never have any more time. We have, and we have always had, all the time there is. We shall never have any more time. We have, and we have always had, all the time that there is. Now, a great question to ask as we think about this 24 hours in a day: who controls your time? Who controls the decisions you make to do with your time? Now, if we go back to the beginning, he asked this question. He said, if we were to take an account of our day, we would all find that we've let a lot of time get away from us, so to speak, right? We've let a lot of time just get away. We've spent a lot of time doing little or nothing, especially in today's climate. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's really making me think about as much time as I let get away from me. And then I'm still talking about I don't have time. How many guys, you'd be like, I need more time. I don't have time. But yet time is all, what you have is all you get. So I think one of the big things, I guess we can call it time management now, is what do you do with your time? How many guys are actually taking the time to taking a moment to analyze or reflect on what you do with your time? And then compare that to all the things that's on your list of things that you would like to get done in your life. And then ask yourself, have I really been using my time wisely to get done the things that I want to get accomplished, or I want to accomplish, or I want to do, or I want to complete? In these days, much of the profit and sometimes the whole of success depends upon utilizing the odds and ends, the so-called byproducts. The byproduct is something apart from the main article manufactured, and yet something that has an actual value of its own. For instance, in the manufacture of gas, there are many byproducts. These are obtained from the coal, as the latter is made into lightning gas. And these byproducts, including the coke from the coal, actually suffice to pay the cost of the gas. All kinds of big businesses have their byproducts. They're little odds and ends that pay well. In Mr. Armour's enormous meat factory, for instance, there are endless byproducts, from the pigtails, which are dried and sold as a delicacy, to the hair of the animals made into a powerful, valuable kind of rope. If Mr. Armour neglected making the hair rope or selling the big pigtails, it would make a big difference in his dividends. The point for the reader is this: the individual man does not manufacture as a rule, but we are, all of us, dealers in time. Time is the one thing we possess. Our success depends upon the use of our time and its byproduct, the odd moment. Each of us has a regular day's work that he does in a routine, more or less mechanical way. He does his clerking, his writing, his typewriting, or whatever it may be, so many hours per day, and that ends it. But what about the byproduct? The odd moments. Everybody put in console the odd moments. But what about the byproduct? The odd moments. Do you know that the men that have made great successes in this world are the men who have used wisely those odd moments? Thomas A. Edison, for instance, was hammering away at a telegraph key when he was telegraph operator on a small salary. He didn't neglect the byproduct or the odd moments. He thought and planned and tried between messages. And he worked out, as a byproduct of his telegraph job, all the inventions that have given him millions and given to the inhabitants of the world thousands of millions worth of dollars and new ideas. Benjamin Franklin, in his story of life, shows an endless number of such efforts along the lines using the odd moments. In 100 different ways, he managed to make the extra hours useful and productive. What a man does in his odd moments is not only apt to bring him profit, it is apt also to increase his mental activity. The mind craves a change, and it often does well the unusual thing out of the routine. Letting well enough alone, it is a foolish motto in the life of a man who wants to get ahead. In the first place, nothing is well enough if you can do better. No matter how well you are doing, do better. There's an old Spanish proverb which says, enjoy the little you have while the fool is hunting for more. The energetic American ought to turn this proverb upside down and make it read, while the fool is enjoying the little he has, I will hunt for more. The way to hunt for more is to utilize your odd moments. Every minute that you save by making it useful, more profitable, is much added to your life and its possibilities. Every minute lost is a neglected byproduct. Once gone, you'll never get it back. Think of the odd quarter of an hour. in the morning before breakfast, the odd half hour after breakfast. Remember the chance to read or figure or think with concentration on your own career? That comes now and again in the day. All these opportunities are the byproducts of your daily existence. All of these byproducts, all of these opportunities are the byproducts of your daily existence. Let me read that again. Think of the odd quarter of an hour in the morning before breakfast. Think about the odd half hour after breakfast. Remember the chance to read or figure or think with concentration on your own career that comes now and again in the day. All these opportunities are the byproducts of your daily existence. I want you to think about what he's saying here. He's saying, you know what? There are some moments, there's some odd moments in your day that you could use to further advance your life in whatever way that is for you. Whether it be things that you've been meaning to do, or things that you've been meaning to think about, consider, maybe meditation or whatever the case may be. But he said everyone has some odd moments throughout their day that they could be using, right, instead of letting pass by, to help further advance their life in the manner in which they like to move it. Are you utilizing or using those odd moments? Are you even recognizing that, you know what? I did have 30 minutes. I could have got something done in those 30 minutes. I could have read 5 pages. I could have finally picked up that book that's been sitting on my bookshelf for 20 weeks. I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have done this, I could have done that, but I did much of nothing with the time or with that odd moment that I let pass by. Use them, and you may find what many of the greatest concerns have found, that the real profit is in the utilization of the byproducts. Among the aimless, unsuccessful, or worthless, you often hear talk about killing time. The man who is always killing time is really killing his own chances in life, while the man who is destined to success is the man who makes time living by making it useful. The man who is always killing time is really killing his own chances in life, while the man who is destined to succeed or destined to success is the man who makes time live by making it useful. Who makes time live by making it useful. So as I mentioned to you guys, it's very short for us here tonight. 2 different authors sharing with us. One's talking about making use of your 24 hours in a day. Basically comparing that to not just living off of money, but living off of your time. Second author, I believe, is sharing with us, key things, the byproducts or the odd moments that we could take advantage of in our life to further progress wherever it is that we say we want to go in life. If you just think about some things, I mean, obviously we could talk about the things we may procrastinate on, but if you just think about some of the stuff that you started but haven't finished, some of the projects that are in your head, some of the things that you eventually want to get to. One thing that it's another book we'll be reading soon, but it's just talking about these small little changes that you can make, and maybe not trying to tackle that big thing all at once, but breaking it down and just hitting it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, so that eventually it'll get done. But if you plan it out and you work that plan, you can actually use your time a little bit more wisely. Okay. We'll use your time a little bit more wisely. So anyway, how to cherish and use the magic of time is what we covered here tonight. Lesson 22. We have 50 lessons in this book, The University of Success. Tomorrow, we will be covering how to make the most of your priorities, how to make the most of your priorities. And that is going to look like that one is going to be a good one. Okay. How to make the most of your priorities here tomorrow on the New Black Wall Street Book Club After Dark edition. I'll say thanks so much for tuning in with us here tonight. Hopefully you got something out of it. Take a moment to activate your subconscious mind, to chew on, meditate, and maybe even journal some things out as you carve out, you find the time that you have within your 24 hours, because we only got the same amount of time, and that's all we have. And find a way to use it to progress in the things that you want to progress in. I want you guys to remember this, man, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street.